In this video, we're going to show you how eye movements will give you some secret insights into other people's worlds. And we're going to show you a really cool game that you can play to practice it called 3 Truths and a Lie. That's right. All right.
Eye accessing cues, what are they? These are the small movements you make with your eyes when you're talking. And now you'll notice it all the time after watching this video. You'll be talking to someone and they're going like this. Well, I got there and I said to him and we were walking. What the hell is he looking at? Their eyes are going all over the place. This is a transderivational search, but that's a different topic. Remember, you've probably seen on previous videos, we've talked about representational systems, the way we process reality, our visual sense, our eyes, our hearing sense, auditory, and our feeling sense, kinesthetic. Do you know all that stuff shows up in how you move your eyes? All of these areas of your brain are involved, and they're giving the person watching you cues and clues as to what you are thinking by what your eyes are doing at that moment.
Okay, cool. So what do we need to go through here and give people a useful idea of how they can calibrate this stuff? Because it isn't the same for every person. So the one thing we want you to absolutely understand up front is don't fall into the trap of thinking, okay, this is the way we've taught it, therefore everybody's brain is the same. It isn't. And we're going to give you an activity.
Well, let's clarify that, though. It's the same, provided they're both right-handed or left-handed. It'll be flipped on a central axis if they're left-handed usually. But the pattern will hold true. So when you ask somebody a question, or if they're thinking in terms of pictures, you'll see them doing this. Their eyes are up and they're moving from side to side. And we're going to clarify this in a second. Suppose they're talking about sounds or something someone said. Their eyes will be on a level plane, moving towards their ears, back and forth. And we're looking at occiput of the brain, parietal lobe, I think. And if you ask them how something felt, the normal pattern is for a right-handed person, they will look down and to their right. So I'd be doing it properly as they're talking about their feelings. So we'll get to down to the left in a minute. That's not quite as important here. So you can watch somebody access their visual sense by saying, what does the front door of your house look like? Describe it to me. Now watch them. They'll go up and to the left normally, which is memories, visual memories. They'll go up here. And then if you want to say to them something that will access visual construct where they're making new pictures up to this side, you say, what would your grandmother look like with green teeth and purple hair? And they'll, oh, weird. They're creating a brand new picture by looking up here. So when you're talking to someone, you'll see recall, construct, something I've already seen, something I've never seen, watching their eyes. Likewise for sounds. If you go directly to the left, you can access that by saying something like, think of your favorite song in your mind right now. Hear it again. They'll dip into it by going to the left to find the information. They're using a specific part of their brain. But if you say, think of your favorite song, but have it sung by, 200 people with German accents who are all banging spoons on the head of the person in front of them.
Yeah.
And they'll go, okay, they'll have to create this sound, which will be very, very odd. And they'll go directly to the right to create this using a different part of their brain. What would it
sound like if instead of being played on a Les Paul, it was played on a cello?
There you go. Now, when you want to access feelings, just say, how did it feel lying on that beach on that vacation, whatever they've just told you? And you'll watch. They'll go, oh, it just felt very relaxing. They'll go down to the right to get the feelings. Now, if someone's going to the left, that's something called auditory digital. They are hearing an internal voice considering what you're saying.
Their own internal
voice. You're trying to sell someone on a product or a service, and they're dipping down to the left. They're having a discussion inside their own head.
That sounds like it's a little too expensive.
That's it. When I used to do this in the corporate market, I'd say, and when you look down into the left, you're activating your internal voice. And people, I'd look half the audience and go, do I have an internal voice? And they look down to the left to check. So when you're talking to someone, you're having a conversation, and if they're looking up to the left, this is a right-handed person, typically they're recalling visual memories, visual things they've seen before. If they're going up to the right, they're creating new visual pictures. If they're going directly left, they're remembering things they've heard. If they're going to the right on a level plane, they're creating new sounds. And if they're going down to the right-hand corner, this is kinesthetic, this is feelings. Now, how does this work for you? 3 truths and a lie. Or you can just say, true story with 1 lie. That's a simpler way.
Yeah, that's an easier way to do it instead of people having to think exactly of the 3 things that they're going to say.
Pretty much,
you're going to get somebody, you're going to play a game with somebody by getting them to pick a situation that they're going to tell you about that is totally truthful. And your
something that
instructions,
happened once.
and you're going to ask them to just make up 1 significant lie in that story.
Yes.
Right?
For example, we did this when I was training, and we had to tell a story. And I told a story how we used to go across to our cottage at the time on the frozen Trent River with a toboggan and all this. And I get to the end, and then Derek Balmer, my mentor, would say, yep, the story's true. but the front door of your cottage isn't blue. And, what? And he would nail it like that and seem psychic. But when he's watching me and calibrating, I'm saying, I saw this, and we looked at the lake, and it looked like that. And we got to the front door of the cabin, it was a bright blue. He sees me going from visual recall, memory, to visual construct.
Making up the blue.
Making it up on the fly.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Now, that would be, like, that might be a more subtle one. So you might want to start by instructing somebody to make up a pretty significant lie. So, for example, that they took a boat across a lake as opposed to a car on a road trip. That might be a significant lie,
sure.
right? Whereas if I said, oh, I was camping and I got up in the morning, and as we were making coffee, I put on my shorts instead of I put on my pants, that's not necessarily going to be very easy to calibrate, because the person could be easily recalling the activity of getting dressed,
sure.
right? So that's going to be harder to pinpoint.
The sum will be harder to pinpoint. Yes.
Harder, yeah.
Yeah. But the bottom line
Did I say harder?
Yes, you did. But the bottom line is, when you notice this, when you see somebody is doing a lot of visual processing, if you talk in the visual sense, and what else do you see happening in your future? That sounds like a bright idea. Guess what happens? Yeah, you build rapport with them right away. And when people are talking in different systems, they're out of rapport. And my wife and my agent used to do this all the time. My agent was very kinesthetic, very feeling, very soft. And my wife was very visual, very get to the point. And she's saying, but can't you see that he doesn't want to do this to her? And she's
well,
saying,
I feel.
But can't you see? Well, I feel. They're talking different languages, different dialects. So one more point is, we've got these: visual recall, visual construct, auditory recall, auditory construct, kinesthetic, which is feelings, internal dialogue, self-talk down to the left. What if they're just staring like this? Eyes unfocused stare. That's visualization. So that's another one for the visual sense.
Right. I also want to point out that before you play this game with someone, so if you say, okay, I want you to tell me a story about something that happened to you recently or in the past, something interesting, make up one significant lie as you're telling the story. Play a little bit of calibration in advance. So say to the person something they won't lie to. So, what did you have for breakfast today? Assuming they eat breakfast.
Right.
If they're fasting, that's not going to be useful. How do you take your coffee?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and they're going to recall. They're not going to be constructing an image of their coffee because they do it every morning. How do you take your coffee? Right?
Yeah.
When did you last get a haircut? Something like that.
This morning.
You know?
Yeah.
But you could say, how would you look if you had a yellow clown wig on? They have to imagine that, right? Or something like that.
Clowns.
Yeah.
Clown wig.
If you were going to renovate your house, what might you do to it? Like, these are just some questions that you could ask would force them into construct mode, right?
And when you're talking to someone from now on and you see their eyes going all over the place, you'll learn to track this, and it can be quite amazing. Some people don't believe in the eye accessing cues, but I've been using them since 1993 with tremendous results with all sorts of things. Let's just make a couple of quick points at the end when you do this. Don't stare at the person's eyes.
It'd get creepy.
Yeah. You can catch a lot of this in your peripheral vision, which is often enough. Also, calibrate first. Ask test questions to see their personal patterns. Well, what do you remember most about your vacation? Oh, I loved seeing that blue ocean, oyster ocean. So looking up to calibrate so you can make sure, because my wife, even though she's right-handed, was born left-handed, broke her collarbones as an infant, switched to being right-handed, but these are neurologically set. So she is aligned like a left-handed person, flipped on the central axis. So for her, visual recall is up there instead of up there, everything down the middle. So get the baseline first, ask questions to see their preference, combine the IQs of verbal and physiological cues. Like, notice what they're saying. If they're saying, and I saw, and you're seeing this, you're getting confirmation. Remember, the eye movements can be fast. They can dip into a sound and back out. So you've really got to be observing them. Relax your gaze to catch them. It's just simple. Don't be tracking them. And finally, this is not lie detection. This is not absolute true and false. Oh, you're lying to me. I'm breaking up. No, it's nothing like that. This is a useful window into the cognitive processing, the thinking processes of another human.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So report back to us. Let us know in the comments how this works out for you. Play the game. It's a lot of fun. Practice with your husband, wife, friend, sister, brother, colleague. It's a lot of fun. I used to do this when Mike first taught this to me, and it works out reasonably well. Most of the time, you'll surprise yourself and you'll catch the lie just about instantly. Have some fun with it. Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again, and good night.